Hey guys, this is the Writing Prompt channel. Here, we take posts from Reddit and read out loud the best stories with the help of a bot. Enjoy this amazing story. The Writing Prompt by user Subtle Knife Wielder. You're a powerful but ancient vampire. All you really want to do is sleep and endlessly dream about your glory days. Maybe even of the time when you were human. You just wish those pesky slayers would leave you alone. Aside from them, you actually haven't killed or turned anyone in centuries. Here is the amazing story made with the help of the prompt by user X Rubico. In all the time I've spent wandering the world, battling monsters, and slaying fiends, it had never occurred to me that vengeance never knocks. A scorned lover whose partner became a victim of the night is likely to burn down the building, rather than chance a fight with me. An apprentice whose mentor had a rather unfortunate accident deems his master's death my fault and kicks in my door screaming bloody murder. Granted, many of them have reason to do so. My hands are far from clean, though I've been trying to tidy up my act. So imagine my surprise when a light tapping wakes me from my slumber. After a small pause, I could hear muffled voices, hurried and hushed. Somehow, a few people managed to find my home and had taken it upon themselves to start assaulting my coffin. I'd spent enormous amounts of money getting this thing made, and I'll be damned if I let some monster hunting punks ruin it. I sighed, pushed the lid open, and sat up. 3 men stood over me, weapons in hand. They leaped back in surprise, almost as if they weren't actually expecting me to be here. The 3 men looked far from professional in their casual attire and lack of any protection from the supernatural at all. Garlic and crosses and the like have never had an effect on me. But it would be somewhat comforting to know that my assailants actually knew what they were getting into. Professionals have standards, while amateurs have stupidity masked as bravado. These men showed no signs of being professional hunters, and they certainly didn't seem brave. So what was their purpose here? Alright, let's get this over with. What do you want? I asked. The closest man took a tentative step forward. His long, wavy hair flowed in front of his face, desperately trying to hide his fear. The poor lad couldn't be over 25 and he's already hunting the best of the best. Whether he knows it or not, we're here to end your reign of terror, beast, he said, barely able to say the words without falling over. I looked closer at my guests and studied them more acutely. The frontman held a wooden stake that was only good for setting up a tent in one hand and a pocket Bible in the other. The other 2 wielded a rake and a makeshift spear made from a kitchen knife duct taped to a broom handle. Far from professionals indeed. There is currently no terror, or the running thereof, that I am participating in at the moment. Those days are behind me. So, please, skip to the good part. He hesitated, then brought up the travel-sized Bible and began reciting some verse he thought was important. Words could never hurt me. Neither will simple sticks and stones. And for some unknown reason, hunters keep reading me passages from their blasted book. I made it a point several decades ago to actually read the thing, but I never got around to it. It's a big book, and even with all the time in the world, I couldn't bring myself to power through it. Look here, Reading Rainbow, I don't know how you got in here or what you think you're doing, so I'll be gentle. Leave now and you can keep your organs on the inside rather than all over my carpet, I said, glaring at the lead man. Oh spawn of Satan, cut the shit, get out. I was trying to sleep. I laid back down in the coffin and shut the lid. Hopefully, they would see the error of their ways and skip off into the sunset, leaving me in peace. But, as they say, no rest for the wicked. More hushed voices, no doubt squabbling over who gets to kill the big bad vampire. An audible slap came from outside. Get your shit together, was the most I could make out of the conversation. The light knocking came again. No solicitors, I said. I heard some shuffling in the room and hoped to hell they weren't rearranging my damn furniture. "Excuse me, sir, Mr. Vampire Thingy, we'd like to talk if that's alright," a voice said. No doubt the leader again. I opened the lid and sat up. Vampire Thingy, quote. My guests had gathered around my couch. They had pilfered from my living room their weapons, sat in their laps, eyes locked on me. Of course they would move my things. That's what hunters do. Just make my life miserable. "We've been sent here by the guild if you couldn't tell," he said. I glared at him. "It's one thing to want to kill me. It's another to treat me like I'm stupid. Let me guess. They want my head on a pike like the last several visits?" Quote. One of the sidemen spoke up. "Actually, they want to hang you. The actual reason we're here, sir," the lead man continued, "is that we seek your help." I raised an eyebrow. "Then what's with the reign of terror stuff you had going?" Quote. The third man leaned forward. "We are legally and magically obligated to say that whenever we enter the presence of a supernatural being, they made us sign all these forms in blood, making us perform certain rituals like the Bible reading. For instance," I scoffed, "you learn something new every day. It seems obvious that I can't get rid of you without helping you. So what do you need?" Quote. "You're not even going to try to eat us?" the front man asked. I gave up the whole eating people thing some time ago. I had a crisis of conscience back in 1480. I've been free of that vice ever since. If I was going to eat you, as many of my kin would, what on earth was your plan?" Quote. The second man slowly pushed a small cooler behind the couch with his foot. I could barely see the blood bags preventing it from closing fully. "That doesn't matter now. What we want is quite simple really. And, pray tell, what is it?" Quote. They looked at each other and nodded. "We wish to become immortal. Like you." These weren't the first fools to ask for my abilities. And I hardly think they would be the last. Everlasting life sounds great to those who can actually die. For centuries I've seen it as a curse, and not a blessing. Reconsider. He looked shocked. "What? Why? We've spent years preparing for this. We're ready." I put my fingers to my temples. "No, you are not. Immortality means jack shit in the long run. At first, it's great, sure, but when the time comes for your parachute to fail and you fall 10,000 feet and splatter over the ground only to spend months reconstituting, the adrenaline doesn't quite feel the same. I am dead, and yet life still holds dominion over me. Why can't you just turn us and forget about us? We can just go our separate ways." "Because I don't want to. Plain and simple. Trust me, I'm doing you a favor. Now get out before I call the police." They stood up and made their way to the front door I must have left unlocked. Their slouched shoulders and pouting faces were almost enough to make me feel sorry for the monsieur. If this was the best the guild had to offer, then the future seemed like smooth sailing. "Back from whence you came, demon. Back to the depths of hell," one shouted. "Sorry, that's the contract talking. Please consider our offer for a while. We can come back in a week. Check up on you." Quote. I laid back down into the coffin, trying to get comfortable again. "Sure, I'll think about it some more. Now, shoo." I closed the lid and listened to the faint mumbling fade away as they left my home. No matter where I go, the guild is close behind me. Year after year of running and hiding. They just can't take a hint. Can they? I just need my beauty sleep. That's all. The end. Thank you guys for checking out this channel. Please subscribe, like and share this video. See you in next one. Thank you and goodbye.